Welcome back. And elsewhere, we had a lot of interesting action.
Yeah.
Kicking things off on Friday night, team, was Liverpool taking on Huddersfield. 5-0. We know that Huddersfield were already relegated.
Yeah.
They should be playing for some pride, team.
Yeah, they should be playing for pride, Tony. But Liverpool is a very hungry side. I was surprised you went for 2-0. I went for 4-0, and they scored even more than I predicted, Tony. This Liverpool side just kept bombarding, and there are a lot of targets they are looking at. They want to find any slip up from Man City, but also they have players fighting for the golden boot. So these two guys, you'll expect them to keep scoring. That is Sadio Mane and Salah, Tony, in this side.
Very, very interesting game. Big result for Liverpool fans. 5-0 against Huddersfield. They are definitely whipping boys. They've been whipping boys this particular season, but that was a thumping performance from Liverpool, sending a bit of fear into their other title chasers, Manchester City, who we saw had a very narrow win there. But on Saturday, we had Tottenham taking on West Ham United at home in the new White Hart Lane Stadium. Losing for the first time and conceding even for the first time.
Yeah, Tony.
Losing 1-0.
Yeah, losing 1-0 there, a goal from Mikel Antonio, Tony. But you would find that it was the first time they were going behind at home in the new stadium, and then at the end of the day they lost in their new stadium. And it's a surprise score, Tony. It's what we did not expect it to happen. And I think over the weekend, I think that was the most disappointing result from this chasing for.
Very, very interesting. Of course, Spurs getting that loss. We know that they are preparing for Ajax in the Champions League. They definitely have to pick themselves up if they are to get anything out of that first leg in this coming week. Big result there for West Ham as well, for their bragging rights. This is London derby. We expect that the teams come into a London derby trying to push and get some bragging rights over their rivals. So it was very interesting to see. We know that they still are without Harry Kane going into the Champions League fixture this Spurs side. So it will be very interesting to see how Mauricio Pochettino picks up his side after such a very interesting performance. Ajax are not a whipping boy by any margins. So this is a big game for Tottenham coming up.
A very big game, Tony. And I think the credentials of both sides, Ajax and Tottenham, will be tested in the first leg.
Big one there. And of course, Sunday is where we had a lot of interesting points to look at, kicking things off with at home at the King Power Stadium. Leicester were taking on Arsenal. Arsenal had lost 2 games in a row by 3 goals. And Leicester continued that run with a 3-0 win over Arsenal. Yeah,
Leicester continued with that run, Tony. And when you look at the game, how it panned out, Leicester had the edge over Arsenal, but the way they set up from the first minute, but the way they set up their lineup, to me, I thought Unai Emery would sense that they feared Arsenal because they packed the entire midfield. They didn't have wingers in the Leicester side, but it was the decision, Tony, the red card to Maitland-Niles. I thought that is what changed the entire game. Yes, Arsenal was on the back foot, but with 11 men, they still had hope and a few chances around. So with that red card, as you know, Tony, even if it's a weak side these days in the Premier League, always the big boy gets hurt.
Let's talk about that red card for our second team. In this disastrous run that Arsenal have had, they came and lost 3-2 at Crystal Palace.
Correct.
Then they snatched a narrow win over Watford. In that game, Watford went down to 10 men after Arsenal had gone up 1-0. They held on, were playing like the better side, and that game ended 1-0. Now, here comes Arsenal. They get a red card at 0-0. They should be able to push on to the end, team.
Yeah, Tony, they should be able to push on.
It's a pure lack of character.
It's lack of character. But we've watched Arsenal going away. They've won 6 games out of, we're talking about 18 games. That's a very poor run. So I was not surprised, Tony, because when you look at Leicester, they changed things at halftime. They brought in Barnes, who is a young, exciting talent. And I knew that Arsenal will be defending, maybe looking for a point, and these guys will keep attacking, and they had to do it.
Very, very poor result for Unai Emery and his men. Again, away from home, their worries continue. There, it will be very, very interesting to see how they pick themselves up in a very big tie coming up at the Mestalla against Valencia in the semi-final of the Europa League in this week. Very, very big win for Leicester City. Brendan Rodgers having turned things around at the King Power. Now they find themselves getting up some very, very huge results, including this one. And of course, that form is what every Liverpool fan will be hoping. They take to the Etihad when their game comes up next. Their big win for Leicester against Arsenal. And then we had Manchester City, other title hopefuls, winning, edging out Burnley, 1-0. A goal coming through the goal decision system. Yeah,
Tony, very thin margins there. The line about 2 millimeters inside, and that is how champions are made. Those are the decisions Man City will look back and remember. If you're a Liverpool fan and you looked at where Man City could lose points, Tony, for me, I thought this is the game against Burnley. And now that Man City has crossed it and they're well aware that they have to win all their remaining games and the champions, I think now the road could be clear for them.
No, this has been a very fascinating title running. Of course, both these teams, Manchester City and Liverpool, haven't lost a game for over 2 months. That's scintillating. They've had very brilliantly results. And if you're to look back, and you see Man City is leading on 92 points, Liverpool are on 91. Liverpool have lost only once all season. To Man City. Man City have 4 losses. How are they over Liverpool in this league?
I think that's what's going to hurt Liverpool most. And you go back to the draws that they had against Leicester, I think, and West Ham, those consecutive draws, because there is no way you have lost only 1 game and the other team has lost 4 and still you're not becoming a champion. It's going to hurt Liverpool more.
At 92 points, 9 against 91 points, this has been probably the most fascinating we've seen in the Premier League era. Big kudos to Liverpool and Manchester City alike. They've certainly served us with brilliant football this particular season. That goal decision system is the same that disallowed the goal for Liverpool against Man City in January, where Sadio Mane had thought he had scored. That ball just being found on the line. This goal decision system is one to be watched out for, and of course that might be the moment at which Man City picked the title finally in this big fascinating run. And of course elsewhere we had Barcelona in Spain being crowned finally as the champions in Spain after that 1-0 win over Levante, with Lionel Messi coming off the bench and getting that very crucial goal, beating Atletico Madrid to it. Of course, they're 9 points behind, but as you know, in Spain, that trophy is taken on a head-to-head tie. So very big congratulations to Barcelona as well. And of course, we have the Champions League coming up this midweek. Ajax will be taking on Tottenham, and Barcelona will be taking on Liverpool in the pick of the bunch. Yeah, Tony, it's our dream fixture. You kept mentioning that, I think, right from the group stages. You wanted to see Barcelona and Liverpool take on each other. Match up between Lionel Messi and Virgil van Dijk. I think we're going to have one, because who has been voted player of the year. Exactly, and I think Messi will also be player of the year in Spain. So it's going to be fascinating. Big one coming up this Wednesday, and of course Tuesday night we have Tottenham, Ajax. With that, we have nothing left to say. Goodbye and enjoy the week.